Hello and welcome back to the Sky's the Limit podcast. I hope you all had a gorgeous week. Today we're going to be talking about the beauty of being a beginner because I think it's deemed under quite like a embarrassing light or like a cringe thing to like do your best at something, like try your best at something, which couldn't be further from the truth. And I feel like I'm always a beginner of stuff. Like I think I am the type of person, I'll start something, I'll like it, and then I'll try another thing, like still continue doing that thing, but like do another thing and another thing and another thing and another thing. So I feel like I'm a pro at being a beginner basically, and I used to be really embarrassed and scared and nervous, but I'm not. And I thought it'd be awesome if I could share some of my tips with you on how to be a confident beginner because it's so beautiful to be a beginner and it's so fun and exciting. I think it is just super exciting. So let's get into it. There is such a beauty in being a beginner. It's something new, a chance to meet new people, try new things, experience change and growth. I think when we try something new, we put these expectations on ourselves. So like if it doesn't go this way or that way, like we kind of give ourselves two outcomes, and if it doesn't go one of the two, we get put off or think we're not good enough to do it. But when we try something new, I think we should try and give ourselves complete permission just to be a beginner. You don't have to be good at something to like something. Give yourself permission to be bad at something. Or if you don't get it straight away, every single person who's done that thing has been a beginner once. And yes, it does come easier for some people, but every single person before they started has had to make that step and decision to say, okay, I want to start. And that's as hard for the next person. That's the exact same experience to everyone. And there's nothing wrong with being bad at things. There's absolutely nothing wrong. Like you can love something and what society's idea of bad is, and you can still love it. You can be bad, but you can still love it. That's so cool because you're choosing yourself and your passions, like to follow your passion over what the people think of you. And that is so awesome. Like not to care is to be free. And I honestly love that because I just think that's incredible. Like I think okay, let's go to like the like my experiences of being a beginner. So I think like some of the things I think the thing that I'm currently a beginner at is like doing a podcast. I'm a beginner at running and going to the gym, but like I would say, you know, the whole thing of like fake it till you make it. I genuinely think that's so true because I think that, that sums up my life a little bit. Not so much anymore, but it is the type of thing of externally people don't know confidence. Like if you go up to someone and say, "Hi, how are you? Like I love your outfit," or like, and even if you're like shaking inside, they're not gonna know because if you come up with this confident person, they're not gonna know the difference. And yeah, so I think it is kind of like fake it till you make it being a beginner at stuff. Like I remember it's actually quite nice. It's come up to my 6 month running anniversary. Love of my life. And I was just thinking, I was like, it's mad. My first ever run that I did was in a run club, like Anna on the Run. And yeah, like well, I didn't really run 5K, I kind of walked it, but I did that in like 55 minutes. And actually today, oh my god, today I got a 5K PB of 35 minutes. So that's 20 minutes shaved down, but in like 6 months, which is insane. And I think that's such beautiful thing about being a beginner because you're constantly making progress so much quicker than the average person who's not the average person, the person who's been doing it for much longer because obviously they're like more advanced and like think about it when you're really good, like it's harder to make more like drastic changes in it. So like when I'm running, like I'm naturally a lot faster. Like no, sorry, I'm naturally improving quicker than I would be if I was better at things. I think that makes sense. Yeah. Um, so I'm a beginner at running right now, and I think it just takes a lot of confidence just to be like, look, if I'm the slowest on that, I'm the slowest on that, and so what? Like, and so what? And like, so what if the last person to like cross the finish line? Like that simply doesn't matter. And like I'm doing a half marathon in June, which isn't I can't only 2 weeks. And I basically it's got a cut off time for 3 hours. You can do it over 3 hours, like you can take as long as you want, but it's like they start to shut like the like event will start to close at like 3 hours. And like I'm gonna take way longer than 3 hours. You know what I mean? Like I'm probably gonna be like, I don't know. I'd like to do it in 3 hours 30, I think. But like I'm not putting a time limit. Like if I did it in 4.5 hours, I'd literally be like, wow, I just did a half marathon. You know what I mean? So it's like it doesn't matter if you're the last one crossing the finish line with anything for that matter. Like obviously I know I'm talking about running, but like also going to the gym. Like when I first walked into the gym, that was scary. My mum actually went to the gym, so that was quite nice. So she like showed me around. I like all the like when no one was really there, so it's actually quite nice. And actually, the second time I ever went there, no one was in there. There was like one person, and they left like within 5 minutes. So I actually had the whole gym to myself, so that's very nice. I go to a very small gym, so that's why like that isn't a normal experience. But yeah. So being a beginner, I think it's just having a fake it till you make it. Like I deserve to be here as much as the next person, especially like if it's the type of thing of like you're at a gym where like you pay the same membership, or you're at dance class where you're all paying the same like the what's it called class cost. You're all paying the same amount of money. Like you deserve to be there as the next person. And I think that's I've had to come to terms with that because I'm like, yeah, like I deserve to be here too. Like obviously not so much now, that occurs to me every time. But especially when I started doing yoga, right? And all the spaces at the back were taken up, so I had to get the front. It's like, oh god, like I'm a beginner, like this is so awkward. Like I have to get the front. I'm like, I deserve to be as the next person. Like I don't think many people want to be at the front doing yoga, but it's like I deserve to be here. Like it's not a problem that I'm at the front and I'm a beginner. You know what I mean? And I had a lovely time, and I love yoga, and it's very peaceful and very calming, and I would recommend it if that's your type of thing, or if you think it could be your type of thing. So I think just realize that you deserve to be there as the next person. Like yeah, you deserve it. And having that fake it till you make it mindset, I think it also eventually it'll kind of get lost of like, oh, am I faking it, or is this actually just my confidence? Obviously at the start, like you're gonna know you're faking it because you're gonna be really scared. But I think it's just like getting yourself out there doing it. Like for me, I am talking about like, so I go to like a couple run club. It's like you deserve to be there. Like just show up for yourself. Be like, okay, I can do this. And then obviously like now it doesn't even cross my mind. Like I'm going there this Sunday for a 10k, and I'm so excited, and it's gonna be awesome. But it's like I deserve to be the next person. And I remember actually I did the 10k run club there, and it was my first ever flat 10k because I did a trail run 10k that's very different, because a trail run you're meant to like, well not meant to, but like you walk, like it's kind of like you walk up the hills, then you run down the hills, and when it's flat you run. Obviously with a flat 10k you're constantly running, so I've never done that, so that's quite nerve-wracking. That was quite nerve-wracking. But I did it, and I was the slowest one, but it didn't matter. And I also actually got lost because I was the slowest one. So I didn't get left behind, but I took a wrong turning, and someone tried to find me, and then I found them again, so it's fine. But yeah. So no, but they're absolutely lovely there. And it's like, so what? Like, so what was the last one? And so what? I got lost. You know, that doesn't matter. So yeah, just knowing that you deserve to be this next person, and fake it till you make it, show up for yourself, and do the things you want to do. Don't let the fact that you're a beginner change that. Like, I also I love this, like, if not now, when? Like, if not now, when are you gonna do it? Like, this applies to anything in your life. Like, if you wanna start a podcast, be like, if not now, when? Like, when am I gonna do it? Like, now is the time. Now, there's like, you're not gonna be more prepared in a month because you haven't started it. Like, yes, you can have all the information on the world, but are you actually gonna start it? Like, or just start it now? And it doesn't have to be perfect to start it. Like, it just doesn't. Um, Also, this could be like if you know you need to tidy your bedroom, because that's something that's always on my mind. Not always on my mind. It's not anymore. But I used to have a really small bedroom, so like it just got messy very easily. Or maybe that's just a me problem. But it used to get really messy, and so I just kind of like grew up with that. And now I have a bigger bedroom, so it's easy to keep tidy. And every night I need it to be tidy, because if I wake up in a messy bedroom, I know I'm just gonna wake up on the wrong side of the bed type of thing. And that's just me. But like, so if I'm sat down on the sofa and I'm like, oh, okay, I have energy, okay, I'm gonna go tidy my bedroom. And I'm like, if not now, when am I gonna do it? And I'm like, oh, I'll do it later. Like, when is later? Like, is later ever gonna come? So just being like, okay, if not now, when? And then that really helped me. And now it's just an automatic thing of like, oh, okay, I'll go do that. But at the start, like if my mum asked me to do something, or I knew I needed to reply to a friend, or I knew I needed to do this for myself, or whatever that may be, I'd be like, if not now, when? And then it kind of became an automatic thing of, okay, I'm going to do this to benefit my future self. And then I think like, if not now, when? And benefiting your future self kind of goes hand in hand. But like, if you really want to start whatever that thing is, like whatever this thing is, I feel like I'm just relating it to me, because obviously I can only go in my head. But like, I really want to start yoga, so I started yoga, and I was like, I started with my dad because he used to be a yoga teacher, but so I started with my dad, and then I wanted to go again, so we did it again. But it's like, if I didn't start, like, I just had to tell myself, like, if not now, when, like, when are you gonna do it? Like, take your opportunity. And it's just like, if an opportunity comes, if you have the opportunities and you're in the place to do it, just do it, whatever that thing may be. And it might be like you want to do a couch to 5K, and you're like, okay, yeah, but like I don't feel like I'm ready to do that. Go walk 5K, not go walk 5, go walk 2.5K, go walk 1K, go walk 500 meters, go walk for 30, just set like a time of 30 minutes and walk for 30 minutes and come back home. Like, that is closer than you would have been. Like, taking a step forward to that thing, no matter how big or small, you're still closer than you were a day ago or a year ago. And you're always going to be doing better than you think you are. It's not until like you look at back, like it's not until you look back at all the progress you made, like after a year or a week or a month, until you can appreciate yourself and be like, oh my god, like I just did that, and you'll realize how much you've done. And I think I think it's quite nice because like I'll look back at me a year ago and like, or like no, not even a year ago, like 5 months ago. I'm like, God, I've changed so much, like in a good way. Well, I think change is always good. Well, I don't think it's better or worse, but you know what I mean. And it's like, God, I've changed so much. Like, oh my God. Like, back then, I didn't know how much is changing or like evolving. And like, now I can appreciate that. And I'll be like, oh, okay, that happened for that reason. And in the moment, it's quite hard to see that. But um, yeah, you're going to look in the future and be like, oh, I'm so grateful I did that for myself. Or, yeah, I started that and that's such the right decision. Also, if it turns out not to be the right decision, well, at least you tried it. Like, it doesn't matter if it's the wrong decision. Like, that's okay. Like, that doesn't matter. Yeah, like walk through every open door and let the ones that close close. There's I used to always be so afraid of picking the wrong thing or making the wrong decision, but I generally don't believe there's a right or wrong anymore. Obviously, like, you know, to a certain extent, but like whatever you pick, it's your decision, it's your life. Like, also the decision you make, it's going to protect it. The decision you make, it's going to depend on like, how you're feeling, what type of day you've had. Like, also every like not to be like, but yeah, like every little decision you made has led you to this moment in your life. And I think that can maybe be a scary thing to some people, but for me, I really like thinking that because I'm like, every single little thing, whether that was complimenting a person and then I that took time and then I ended up seeing like a really cute dog on a walk. Like, I don't know, like, or if I took time in a shop and then I saw one of my friends like in the high street and I'd be like, oh, if I wouldn't have gone in that shop, like I wouldn't have seen them and that made my day. Obviously, like, that's like a little example, but yeah, like every little decision you make does have an impact on your life. I take that in a nice way, not a scary way. If you take that as a scary way, like it literally life doesn't matter. Like it's just life. Like it doesn't matter. But like no, your life is yours. Do whatever you feel like doing. It's not that deep unless you put meaning on it. I like to put meaning on it because that's what I want to do. But everyone has the right to do what they want to do. Like I just like to think like everything I do has a meaning because that makes me feel important. But if that makes it feel too scary, then forget that. But yeah. Um with that, if you're not where you want to be, start doing the little actions that you know, like start doing the actions that you know you're higher that start doing the actions that the higher version of yourself would make. Do more and more and more and more until you're a bit more of that person. Then if you think about the person you want to be, what actions would they do? What time would they go to bed? What time would they wake up? What type of foods would they eat? Obviously, they don't put this in a restricting way of like what foods do they. I mean that in like a would they cook themselves homemade meals? Would they appreciate having like dinner with with their friends? You know, would like they wouldn't care how they look. Like, you know what I mean? Like the dream version of yourself. Just try and take steps. Yeah, like how they dress, how they act towards others, how they act towards themselves, how their room look, how would they take care of themselves, how they prioritize things, what would they do, what would their confidence be like, how they hold themselves. And you can go on and on and on. But it's like the more steps you do to becoming that person, you're eventually going to become that person. So, and I think that's one thing I also like. I think unconsciously, I think we all do this. But it's like I did that day. It's like I saw a TikTok, not TikTok. I saw one of my old videos that like I made for myself because I used to like just edit videos for myself. Um, and it was like just a little Pinterest board kind of video, and it was like my dream room. My room literally looks like it, like, and it's so cool. Like I took the little steps, and then now I'm here. And it's like obviously a whole year down the line, so like you know a lot later, but the little steps you take. And also another thing is like, if you want to drink more water, with the high version of yourself, drink more water. So go drink more water. Like, whatever that may be. Start taking the actions that to become the person you want to become. Don't just jump into it because that's not going to be easy to maintain. I think oh God, I don't know why. At the start of this year, I was like, not even this wasn't even a New Year's goal. It was in February, and I was like, oh, I want to be the girl who like goes to the gym at like 5:30 and like is back by 7. That's not for me. That life is not for me. Um, so I tried it for like 2 weeks. I was shattered. And to be fair, I was going to it a bit earlier, but not early enough. Anyway, and now I wake up like I'm a 6:30 gal. Like that really fits my lifestyle. And occasionally 6, but occasionally 7:30. But 6:30 seems to work for me. So I've been doing that. But it's like don't just dive into the deep end. Just start doing little habits. Like with the highest version of yourself, sit on the phone and scroll on the phone when they don't actually want to. Obviously when you want to, go ahead. And would they know when they want to and when they don't? So that's just a little thing. So if you're not where you want to be, just think, okay, the highest version. Also, the highest version of yourself means like your best self. Like the person, not necessarily the person you want to be, just your best self, like the best version of yourself. Also, there's going to be people that you're with that bring out the best version of yourself. And notice when you're around them what traits, like if you don't really know what the best version of yourself is, think about when you're around certain people or doing certain things, you feel like the best version of yourself. Note the traits that you do when you're doing that thing with that person, and try and equivalent that when you're feeling a bit down or lower energy, not like spiritually lower energy. But yeah, and there is such a difference between being alone and being lonely. I think this is something I like discovered last year. I say this a lot of things I discovered last year, but when you're alone, that doesn't mean when you're alone, that doesn't make you lonely, and when you're lonely, that doesn't mean you're alone. I think I've personally felt my loneliest in some of the friendships I used to be in. Yeah, I wasn't technically alone, but that was the loneliest I've literally ever felt in my life. I've gained so much by spending more time alone with myself. I used to hate it. Like I used to hate being alone, couldn't stand it, but I actually thrive off it now. Um, like I really genuinely benefit being by myself. Again, I obviously benefit of being with other people, but I can really appreciate being alone and spending time with myself. I've met some absolutely amazing people by doing this as well, like just going up places alone, like whether that's to a concert, round club, event. Trying to think where else do I go alone, or just like day to day life. Like if I'm on a walk, like I went to a little farmers market. No, it wasn't a farmers market. Like farmers markets have like got their little stalls up. It's like that, but like it was like a fair. So I think it was actually an art. I don't know. It was like a farmers market art fair, if that makes sense. And I went alone. And I just met so many amazing people, and all the people at the stores are so amazing. And I was like, I wouldn't have talked to them if I was with a friend because I'd be talking to my friend or whoever I was with. And when you go alone, you just meet new people. Obviously, not to say this isn't like a, oh, don't go places with your friends. It's just a, don't be scared. Don't put off plans not because you don't have anyone to go with. I think I used to do it all the time. I'd be like, oh, I want to do this, and send it to my friend, and they wouldn't want to do it, and I'd be like, oh, okay, I can't do this. That doesn't mean anything. Like, you go do it by yourself. Like whatever that is, go do it by yourself. I went to see this movie, no one else did, so I went by myself. Or like no one else could at the time, so I went to go by myself. Like, what's wrong with that? And yeah, and if I constantly went with others, I would have never had the like confidence to talk to other people because I've gained the confidence because the first time being a beginner at doing things alone, the first time I did it, I just went and was like, okay, fake it and make fake like what's the saying? Fake it till you make it. I faked it till I made it. Made it. I faked it till I made it. Yeah. Um, and yeah, I just really gained confidence in that. And like now, like it kind of comes naturally to talk to other people. Obviously, there's going to be days where I'm like, I can't do that. I'm not doing that. But I think I am very confident at talking to other people now. I'm going up to people and being like, hey, like, oh, da 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 da. Especially like at concert queues, like honestly, I met so many amazing people. Just in concerts because obviously you're meeting like-minded people because like the same music, obviously like run clubs as well, but like I feel like concerts a bit more general than run clubs because you like have to like yeah. Anyway, get what I'm trying to say. Or like just queues in general, like just be like, oh, I just compliment outfits because it's honestly a lot easier. So like, oh, I love your shoes, or I love your hair, and then yeah, meet new people. People are amazing. Um, yeah, and I think it's so beautiful to be a beginner because you get to explore new sides of yourself and really try and embrace that change and growth within yourself and appreciate it and appreciate like I have taken one more step to get to where I want to be. Like I'm closer than I was yesterday, or I'm closer than I was 5 minutes ago. And I think stop trying to hide that part of you, or not hide necessarily, just feed that part of you. Like let that part grow and shine, um, and really embrace it because I think that's a very important part of people. Because I think as people, we constantly want to learn and grow, um, like learn in different ways than loads of different. Like I mean, learn in lots of different ways, but yeah, don't be scared to try new things because so much greatness will come from it. Like all like don't be scared of quote unquote failure, but like be scared of being in the same place where you were last year. And I love that because like think about how much you grown last year. And if you haven't grown that much, that is okay too. Don't get me wrong. But I think I personally thrive off change and growth. Not change in my life. I I'm not a fan of change, but I think I thrive off like growth. Maybe change is the wrong word. I thrive off growth. So yeah. Um I love this. When a flower doesn't bloom, you fix the environment, not the flower. If you feel you're not thriving or living up to your potential, that if you if you feel you're not thriving or living up to your potential, or you just want more, follow that and chase it. Find the things you love and desire. Obviously, if you're able to, and this is accessible to you, but it doesn't have to be something major, like anything major. It could just be like wake up 20 minutes earlier and spend that 20 minutes to do something you love, whether that's reading your favourite book, watching your favourite movie or YouTube video, or spend 20 minutes finding a really cool outfit if that makes you feel really confident in yourself, or making a home cooked deluxe breakfast, or going on a walk, or meditating, or journaling, or editing a video, or like yeah, just wake up like to do something for yourself. Or maybe that's like so sorry, one of those things could be wake up 20 minutes early to do what you want to do, and do something for yourself. Or it could be like making homemade meals, like scheduling time to do that, or redecorating your space. Like as I said before, like take little actions to become the person you want to be. It doesn't have to be anything major. It just has to be something that you feel is just going to benefit you, and something that yeah, like if you could I saw this video, let's talk about this video. I saw this video and it was basically like, right, sorry, I'm getting off topic. I saw this video and it said write 9 goals down. So if you have a pen and paper, write 9 goals down. So you've got them, and then look at your list and say, okay, if I had like one wish, which one would I make come true? Which one would have the biggest positive impact in my life? And it'll happen in the next 24 hours. You can only pick one. Pick that thing, another piece of paper, write that goal down, and write all the actions that you could take to achieving this. Obviously, it won't be in 24 hours, but give yourself 1 year. Like put it somewhere where you see it a lot, and write, okay, this goal. If I did this, that would get me 2 steps further. If I did this, that would get me 1 step further. If I did this, that would get me 10 steps further. Obviously, that goal is going to look so unique to everyone. But I really loved that, and I did that yesterday, and I felt quite good because I was like, actually, to be fair, my goals. Like I looked in my journal because I was like, oh, like I wonder what my goals are at the start of the year. And it's so funny. I put I'd love to start a podcast, but I'm too nervous to, and I never would. And I'm doing it. So yeah, that's cool. So whatever that goal is, obviously that's like just my example of a goal. But anyway, so I did that, and that felt really nice. I hope you've all taken something from this episode, and maybe this has encouraged you just to make that change or try something new. And also, it doesn't have to go right. Like it could be a one-off thing. Like it could be like, oh, I want to try go on a 2K run. If I've never run before, I might hate it, but I'm just gonna give it a go. That is also so amazing. You don't have to like be like, okay, I'm gonna try something new and I have to do it for the rest of my life. Like doesn't work like that. You can just try something. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Other that thing maybe don't be scared to try it. Embrace change, embrace growth. you deserve to be there, you deserve to be doing this, you deserve to follow your passions if you're able to. Um, yeah, beautiful things will come from growth and change and appreciate yourself and connecting with yourself. So I'm sending so much love. I hope you have an amazing week. Yeah, lots of love, Sky.